time that when I was in church, one time during the service, I felt that the Lord was impressing in my heart to give to a church attender 20 pesos and 80 cents. So of course, you just dismiss that thought. But that thought got stronger and stronger, and I could not even concentrate on the preaching because it got so strong that I could hardly hear the sermon. Give the person 20 pesos and 80 cents. Now, not any ordinary person, not a big guy. That person happened to be one of the, at least as what people know, one of the wealthiest members of the church. He drove a very expensive car. He was a very successful businessman. Expensive pens in his pocket and things like that. And so I immediately thought, why would I, this is such a crazy thought. Why would I even insult a person like that in church? But the voice, the urging, the unction got stronger and stronger. And that was a time, for those of you may have remembered, when our 5 centavos and 10 centavos were thick and light aluminum, it looked worthless. And in a way, it was worthless because some of the restaurants, instead of giving you the change that nobody wanted, they give you a stored candy. That was before we still have stored candy. And so I'm saying, why not just round it off? Make it 50 pesos. I have more money than 2080. It was easier for me to pull 100 or 50 pesos and give it to the guy. But the guy is so wealthy. I was willing to give whatever I have in my pocket. But it says 2080. And finally, I have to turn to my wife and said, may bariya ka ba dyan? Can you give me some coins? And it has to be, 2080. Why not 2075? Why not 20 or 21, 2080? It was very specific. And so I just decided, okay, I'll do it. And it was very embarrassing. So what I did, I have a small brown envelope. I put it there. And then I just approached the guy and after service and said, here's for you. Then I walk away. Unfortunately, he did not wait until he went home to open. He opened it and ran after me. I walked faster and he ran after me. I tried to and he blocked me and said, what is this? Why did you give me this? I said, I'm sorry. I know it was crazy, but I'm sorry. I apologize. No. I want to know what happened. And he was getting emotional. And I said, man, I don't want to create a scene in church. He said, why did you give me that? I said, I'm sorry. Sorry. No, but he wanted. I said, I'll take it back. He said, no. Why did you give me this? When I was cornered, I finally said, well, I just felt I have to give you 2080. And I apologized. I said, stop. Who told you that? I said, told me what? I don't know. There was a voice in my heart. Then he said that he took me to a corner and he started crying. He said that you don't know what I'm experiencing. Of course, he's a very wealthy man. He said, I'm actually in a very difficult business crisis, that I'm going bankrupt. And because his business has a lot to do with clients' confidence in his success, so he could not afford to let his struggle be leaked out. So much so that he did not even tell his wife of their financial situation. He said, actually, my home in Dasmariñas is about to be foreclosed. And I have been a tither, I have been a giver, I have been faithful to God, and I'm discouraged. I'm having a crisis of faith. And this morning, during devotion and prayer, I told God, what's this? I've been doing all these things for nothing. You're not faithful as you claim to be. You're not true as you claim to be. And then he said, suddenly, something just out of his emotional outburst, he just said that, if it's true, why don't you just send somebody to give me 2080? I said, 2080? He said, that was just a figure that came out, a ridiculous figure. So small that nobody would even, in his right mind, would even think. So that was his outburst and challenge to God. If you're true, why don't you just send somebody to give me 2080? And that was his emotional outburst, and nobody knew that, not even his wife. And I did not know that. But I'm just thankful that I finally gave in. And I did what I thought was a very insignificant and a very stupid thing. and I did not do my stupid thing, my limited, insignificant act of obedience, save that person from a crisis of faith. Many times, we thought that just because we have our own physical struggles, health struggles, we cannot pray for somebody to be healed. Many times we think that just because we have our own financial struggles, we cannot pray for the financial breakthrough of other people. God is not asking us for what we don't have. And actually, God is not even asking us for what we have. He's just asking for our belief, our faith, and asking for our obedience. He wants to partner with us to be a miracle in somebody else's life. And there are times when, because of our obedience, we help somebody and be the miracles in somebody else's life. And in their miracles, we found our own miracles. That happens, and have experienced that also. And so, instead of looking at what we don't have or the little that we have, God can use it. It's never about what we have or what we don't have. It's all about Him manifesting Himself through our limitations and our own weaknesses. Do whatever He tells you to do. And I have learned a lesson that day, that I will take my eyes off, no more excuses that I don't have this, I have my own problems, but said, if He tells me, I said, I'll do it. I may not understand it, but I'll do it anyway. And I'll let Him surprise me. Just like He surprises the disciples and the newlywed and even the servants. That there are times when we don't understand the logic, the rationality of doing that, but it's never about being convinced. It's all about believing and obeying. What we have today, if God is putting in our hearts to help somebody, maybe you have a relational problem, and God said, I want you to counsel that couple. You're not having a struggle. Maybe by doing that, you become the miracle in somebody else's relationship, and by doing that, you find your own miracle. The little that we have, maybe you feel so insignificant, just like the 5 loaves and the 2 fish. Just like a little flour in a little pot of oil. But as long as we put it in His hand and do as He says, miracle happens.